All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Big Matt from the Matt and Todd Show. We're doing a locker room special here. Special guest today. We're going to be talking to Coach Ragsdale out at Spring Garden. Hey, guys, they've come off and turned things up here, and they're getting ready to get into the harder schedule. I can't believe it's going to be like week 5 already. We're going to talk to him about the week leading up to practice. They had a big game traveling over to Winterboro. It's a big-time win for the program. And this week, we'll talk about they're getting ready for a big rival game that everybody knows in the county that's been a big game for many, many years now. So let's go ahead and bring in the man of the hour. We do appreciate you. There he is. Coach Ragsdale, how are you doing today, man?
And good. How you doing?
I'm just fantastic. Hope the Lord has blessed you today. Just being out and about and traveling, getting home. I know you got film study stuff to do today. You got young kids and you got 100 things going on. I do thank you for spending a few minutes here with us here at the Matt Todd Show, and we'll put this out to the community and, let you talk about, what you got going on, bragging on your kids and your coaches too. So we'll just jump right in. The week leading up to practice, to travel with Winterboro. We was talking off air there for just a second. They've always been a little bigger and faster and whatever, but you guys have always played just, tough man football. You're going to have to outdo and out-persevere and just have a lot of resilience to, especially go on the road. They got a good squad this year. Tell us about the week of practice leading up to the game for Friday.
Yeah, our kids are at a point right now. I think we've done a really good job the last 2 weeks of just selling out to have good practices and realizing, we took a couple early losses, and I think that the kids responded well after that. The Cooper Wadley back-to-back losses, and our practices have been really intense. Man, the effort's been there, the focus has been there. So going into Winterboro, we knew, hey, I told the guys all week that the guy matched up in front of you is probably going to be bigger, probably going to be faster. They had athletes all over the field. We got athletes.
That's right.
And but I told them, the thing that's gonna close that gap is our execution and the effort, play after play. You can't take a snap off. It's going to take 4 quarters, and that's what it took Friday night at Winterboro. We ended up only scoring 15 points. We had 3 touchdowns called back.
Oh yes.
And so our kids.
Tell us about that. Was it just like holding penalty stuff, or just what was going on there?
Yeah, well, one of them was a block in the back, one of them was a hold, and one of them was a hurdle call on the 60 yards.
Sorry. Hey, look, that hurdle call, I can't remember where I was at. And I asked the ref about that because this has probably been 2 years ago, and that was kind of going on a lot. And I asked the ref, I said, look, what's the terms on this, calling this hurdle call? I promise you, he told me it's the discretion of the ref. Some places you might get it and some places you won't. I swear that's true.
Yeah, well, so I'll leave it at that.
Well, yeah, I'm just, it is what it is. And if you're running, the point of it is you don't want kids to get hurt. They're trying to jump a guy and he could spring up and hit the kid. I understand that, but I don't mind. And that's just kind of tacky to me. But, I can say that stuff and you're not supposed to, and that's okay. But anyway, go ahead there.
We had some things it didn't go our way Friday night, and the kids could have easily, tapped out and, took some plays off. And, that's the type of game you do those kind of things, you get beat. And so our kids fought back and played 4 quarters, and I was proud of them in that aspect. And that comes from, like you asked, that came from a good week of preparation.
Yeah, right. Tell me a little bit about this group. Now, I know a lot of them. We've been coming around hanging out since Weston and Riley and Luke and that group. And Chap, he has been just incredible this year. He had another game this week for you guys, and week before, he's just really stepped up, and he's always been a huge role for the team. But the Pope boys always have been. But he's really took on a big role this year. Tell us about Chapel Pope.
Yeah, Chapel, he plays all over the field. We break the huddle. You got to find out where 12's at. He's done a good job. Exactly what we expect him to do. And he's a senior. So he's stepped up and been playing some really good football later, and are here recently. And we've got some other guys that are just following right along with him.
Yeah, it's great to have that that senior leadership from guys like him, and it's just good for the team. It helps you out, going into practice. It makes your job your coaches makes the job a little bit easier when you got a guy out there on the field being a captain that's holding the guys accountable. Right there in front of you. That's always big.
Yeah.
Also, John and Jacob, they've been around forever too, and they're starting to play even more of a role. John getting in the backfield a little bit more and catching the ball out in space and stuff, and he stumbled and had his trying times, but he's just been able to oh boy. We lost him. Hang on a second. All right, hang on.
Back on that.
I got you. No, that's fine. All right, we're back on here. Hey, technology is great, and this is the world that we live in, and glad to have Coach Ragsdale back. He is traveling toward the school right now to speak, trying to get in his work for rival Cedar Bluff. And we was talking a little bit about the players, and we had a little snafu there. So tell me about your seniors right now this year. Tell me all your seniors.
Yeah, I got 3 seniors right now in Chapel Pope.
Yep.
Jacob Dempsey and then Caden Buttram. And Jacob Dempsey's been playing on the line for 3 or 4 years now. Been on there, Chapel Pope. He's been playing for a while. And Caden Buttram, he started for us Friday night.
Wow.
He's battled some injuries and stuff throughout the year, and last year, and he stepped up for us and played on the offensive line and did a really, really good job, and really, really proud of the way he played.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good for you enjoy guys stepping up and coming on like that. We're looking at the at your record here on the screen, just the overall, for Spring Garden, and it's kind of meant that rival at Cedar Bluff has always been, it's always been a big time game. So, far as opponent wise, I mean, the guys, even the games that we talked about earlier that you lost to, they're swinging right along. Those are 2 really good football teams. So, tell us what it means to the community over there at Spring Garden, a tight-knit community like Cedar Bluff. Tell us kind of what it means to you guys over there, the Cedar Bluff and Spring Garden rival.
Yeah, it's always been a big game for both sides.
Yep.
It's just that in-county rivalry, and ever since I've been at Spring Garden, it's always been a big game. And both sides you get up for it, you're going to get. You're going to get each other's best game, and intense game, and it's a fun game to play in.
Yeah, and this year I know we don't share regions. You guys don't. Most of the time you did for years and years, and things kind of get moved around. Cedar Bluff coming off a narrow loss against Decatur Heritage, a 13-7. So they're back on the road again this week. So we look forward to coming over there and seeing you guys. That's going to be our game of the week, and me and Dean will be there, and we'll come by a little early and see the guys. And so we're excited for you guys, and we hope you have a good week of practice and all. And I know you're trying to get in there and do film study right now. Again, I appreciate you taking a few minutes, and putting the word out here about some of your kids. And tell us about your other coaches. I know it's about the same kind of between Cole and Coach McDonald, and who else you got helping you, Coach Miller?
Oh yeah, Coach Murphy, Coach McDonald, Coach Miller. They kind of handle the offensive side of it. Coach Sears, and then defensively, Coach Bowman and Coach Benefield and Coach Ward and got Coach Wilson. And we also got Eli Bates. You remember him?
Yes. Yeah.
Playing a few years ago, of course.
Yeah.
And, he's helping us there. So got some great help. All my coaches, they do a really good job. We work well together, and that's a big part of our success. Just all the coaches, working together on the same page and getting our kids prepared. Yeah,
that's something always to be recognized, and covering you guys for a long time. The kids always were, they're always ready, and your game plan's been put in, and the coaches, y'all can't go out there and play and execute, what you want to do. And sometimes, it don't go exactly how it's supposed to, but you can tell this thing about Spring Garden. They're always ready. And Kyle, I want to say, Cole, I got to stop doing that. It's Coach Murphy. I've watched him play since he was elementary school. Great athlete. And he's doing a good job there. So it's good to see young talent, and Coach Bowman's kind of new. He's a young guy, went to school out there, so you got some good young coaches, and you're not old yourself, so you got a young squad. You only got the 3 seniors. I mean, Coach, looks like you're going to have some success there for a while at Spring Garden.
Well, just going to keep doing what we're doing, and just hopefully keep clicking along.
Yep. Well, again, I appreciate your time, and I know you're trying to run in there and get done. So, again, thank you for stopping by and chatting with us. And the video went off. His phone's dying out, and he's trying to move and stuff too. So, get down. Let's go. Again, thank you, Coach Ragsdale, and we'll see you.
Hey, man.
I'll probably come by one day this week, and we'll definitely be out there Friday night.
It sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll save us a couple of steak sandwiches.
We'll do that.
All right, man. Thanks for your time. Thanks, sir. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. You too.
Okay. Coach Ragsdale, Spring Garden. We had the privilege to bring him on, and that's kind of the first time we got to bring him into a locker room special. And we're always glad that coaches can take a little time, and they're busy, man. He's got younger kids too, and he's trying to do about 5 or 6 things today. Be a dad, be a husband, be a coach, and sometimes do all 3 things at one time. So, hey, we look forward to the game Friday night. I hope you guys can make it out there. The overall record of this series does not really represent as of, probably the past 7 or 8 years. It's just been a knockdown. I mean, when they shared regions, a lot of time that solidified, who was going to be the region champ, Spring Garden and Cedar Bluff. So they're putting in the work, and they got a kind of a young coaching staff, and they got some young players, only 3 seniors this year. And again, like I said, the 2 losses, those are not just ones you just, drag around about. And Coach Ragsdale is definitely not the guy to, ride around and worry about the games he lost. We got to move on and take what happened and learn from it. And they will. And we look forward to a good game. It's always been a good series out there, whether it's at Spring Garden or at Cedar Bluff. So best wishes to Coach Ragsdale Friday night, and Coach Crane as the Tigers travel across the county, kind of, I guess, southwest, and then kind of, southwest somewhat part of the county. So thank you guys for stopping by. A locker room special, just a little 10, 15 minutes. Wanted to get in there and talk with Coach Ragsdale and let him get the word out about the kids. They're working hard, and I'm sure they're fired up about this game. It's been a good game for several years now. So again, thank you guys for stopping by Locker Room Special. Don't forget, we'll be on here in just a little bit live, show number 204. That's one you don't want to miss. Gosh, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We'll have all the county scores, and we'll talk about this travel game. Hey, Spring Garden bebops over to Winterboro. That's a good win for them, man. That's a nice drive, and to go over and get that win, that's pretty big, because week 5, I mean, we're kind of right sort of in the middle. I mean, it's not like if you lose, you're out of the playoffs, but it's kind of getting on that way. It's being important that you win region games, and these are region games coming up this week for a lot of local schools, and we'll talk about Warriors and Coach Kelly are just stomping right over here at Bobby Joe Johnson Field. We'll talk about that. Cedar Bluff travel, man, they played a close game. They couldn't get a last score in there to go ahead and win that one to beat Decatur. Coach Knapp and Bunch had Appalachian over, talk about them. And then Coach Willingham, Ernie Collinsville, traveled down the road there to Sandrock to play the Fighting Heaths, a very young squad that he has. And if there was a young man that was maybe hurt over there or something, Lord, we're praying for him. He would be okay. We hope everything works out over there. So we'll get into some of that. We'll look at some other scores from around the state. So guys, hang around and come back and hang out with us. Okay. We appreciate it. Show number 204. And of course, we've got plenty of college stuff. Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, Colorado takes one on the chin. Pac-12 quarterbacks are smoking hot right now. There's a lot of big games coming this weekend. Go in there and do some picking with us. A lot of good games coming up this weekend. So again, thank you guys for coming by Locker Room Special and join in with us. 6 o'clock live right here, the Matt and Todd Show, the best dang sports show going anywhere today.